Hello, today I'd like to talk a bit about the Steam controller. So the Steam controller is pretty interesting, and I don't know if you watch the news from Steam Dev Days, but they're actually making some changes to it. It's going to have little 8 buttons down here. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but this is the prototype, and I wanted to talk a bit about it. Well, I've been playing a lot of Broken Age recently on my couch with the Steam controller, and it's been working pretty well. The trackpads are pretty responsive and decent for mouse movement. The haptic feedback, like basically the idea is as you move your finger, it vibrates based on, how much translation you've done or something. And I don't know, I haven't quite figured out what that is, but I thought it might be helpful to give you a size comparison. And I don't know about other people, but the Steam controller feels a little big in my hands, so is it non-scientific? Even though it feels a little big, it's similar in size to the Xbox 360 controller. But I think it's like the handles are a little wider. And so actually it kind of reminds me of the original Xbox controller in my hands, although it's not nearly as large. But I think the handles are similarly wide, I guess. I don't know, maybe. And so here's a 6-axis, and it's much smaller than the 6-axis. And of course the PS4 controller is similar in size. And of course everyone's favorite, the Dreamcast controller. So here's a comparison. Unfortunately, they got rid of the VMU type thing. Sega Saturn, my favorite, the Sega Saturn 3D control pad for Knights. And just for fun, the Atari Jaguar controller. An even better comparison is here's the original Atari Lynx. So it's much smaller than the original Atari Lynx, and I have the second version too, which is smaller in length, but it's kind of wider. I don't know. Anyway, so I mean it's very different in your hands, and I haven't really played around with it that much, so I can't really give like strong recommendations or thoughts, but it's definitely unique, and it definitely seems like there's a bit of a learning curve to get used to it. And I'm not quite sure. We're going to add support for Neverending Nightmares for it, and I mean, I'm thinking that the left touchpad can just be like an analog stick, and then we can keep run on the triggers like we have it now, and then maybe this is just one big button because it pushes in. That might be cool, kind of like GameCube-y, your big button. Yeah, I don't know, and it's definitely something I want to play around with and experiment with, and I mean, it sounds like it's a work in progress. So I don't know how much the final version will be, will resemble this, but certainly as someone who has a whole stack of game controllers, which you can see over there probably, lots of controllers and wires and things, I'm excited to be part of the process for making decisions about the Steam controller. Apparently my opinion may count, so as someone who loves console game controllers, I think that's really cool for me, and I imagine they'll expand the beta or something, I don't know, but it's definitely an interesting approach to controller design is create something and give it out, and it's very open and interesting. So that's all for today.